Good afternoon, and welcome to an unusual midday stream instead of an evening stream. I wanted to leave my evening free tonight, so I decided to stream for the afternoon instead because I got an important thing to watch tonight. One of the streamers I watch is doing a special song release, I think. I forget what the big occasion was anyway, but one of the streamers I watch is doing something special tonight. So I wanted to stream in the afternoon instead, since I haven't streamed all week. Um, I wanted to give you some more content. So today we're going to work on my Mario backlog in Lego. In fact, let me switch to the camera and show you the two sets we're doing today. So I have here my last two medium-sized ish Lego Mario sets. After this stream, I'll still have four large Mario sets that I'll need to stream. And then we're basically done with the Mario series. Lego's not making the tabletop interactive Mario game anymore. So I want to do these last few streams over the next couple months as I have time. There's four big sets after this one that I have to finish, and then we're done with Lego Mario on the channel. It's been raining a lot, spring weather and all that. So these two sets represent wetlands regions. We have the swamp here, and we also have the beach. I know that's not technically considered wetlands, but you got the ocean at the beach, so we'll roll with it. I'm going with the wet themes today. So these are my last two medium-sized Lego Mario sets. And then I have, like I said, the four larger ones. I've been talking not that much, but I want to just get into this. Which to build first? It really doesn't matter. They're about the same in piece count. Let's do the swamp first. So you can see this one comes with a Wiggler, a pink Shy Guy, and a Piranha Plant, which I think might be my last Piranha Plant, since we only have a few sets left after this one. Wiggler's cool. I have one other set with the Wiggler, and one of the Mario Kart cars is also based on Wiggler. And Shy Guy for the first time in pink, I think, in my collection. There's different colors of Shy Guys in Mario, but I think I only have red ones in the figure collection. So this is the Soda Jungle Maker set. It's a maker set, so I'm not sure what its interactive features are. I do see a yellow pipe, so that might have something to do with the playable game. So there's the front of the box. And here's the back of the box. And these are not Mario Kart sets tonight. These are the main tabletop Mario, which means we should not expect any stickers today. So there's the back of the box. Now this is technically a maker set, the third of the maker sets. So I'm not sure if it's interactive or if it's just set dressing. We will go ahead and... oh, did I show you the back of the box? There. Let's get this open. So this is the Soda Jungle Maker. And we're going to get three characters in this one. So we have bag 5, bag 7, give me a moment to get organized here. Oh, and we do get a separator in this one, which is good. I don't have to pull out the spare. Here's the paper instruction book. You know what we do with these by now. And here's bag 1. Let's pull up our instructions and get started. One moment. Let's make sure I turn the audio on. Okay, we are good to go. We have the instructions up. And now let's get into our first build. Our first of 2 sets today. So there's the separator instructions. And it says to open bag 1. And traditionally, bag 1 in the Mario sets is the first character. And then you start the actual builds in bag 2. That's how most of the Mario sets have been. And it looks like that's how we're doing it here, too. So we'll set... Oh, before we get into it, we do have our interactive Mario figures ready to test any interactions we get today. We only have a few streams left, so all 3 of them can come to all the remaining streams at this point. There's not going to be too many more of these. There's 4 more big sets to do after these 2 we're doing today. Alright, so here we have the instructions for our pink Shy Guy. This is my first Shy Guy in this color scheme. Nope, I want to make sure I'm using the correct pieces here. And here is Shy Guy's scan tile. There's the scan tile. Okay. Sorry, when I get silent, that means I'm just focused on what I'm doing here. It means I'm focused on the build and keeping the build running efficiently. It also sometimes means that I temporarily ran out of stuff to talk about, but I'll think of something soon. So here is Pink Shy Guy, our first buildable character of the day. That's one thing I'm going to miss about the LEGO Mario series, is that all the characters are buildable. Although apparently we're getting minifigure sets in 2027. So it'll be interesting to see how some of these Mario characters translate into minifigure form. I would have to assume they're planning to use the Smart Brick and keep Mario interactive. We'll see how they do it. So bag 2 will be our first piece of the swamp, it looks like. Oh, I almost forgot. Let's get the everything out of the bag. I almost forgot. So Shy Guy is a standard one jump, one hit kill. So Shy Guy is pretty basic, but still cool. And I like having it in another color. Alright, let's keep going with the build now. Okay, we have a 2 times build, but it's a 1-page 2 times build. Let's make sure we're using the correct pieces. Alright, let's build one more of those. Okay. How do these line up? Okay, so they go onto here like this. Interesting. Be interesting to see how this whole play feature works once we get it all put together here. And then we have this big leafy plant piece that we're putting onto this assembly here. Shows Shy Guy standing on here, so obviously we're going to take him off for a... Okay, so here's a little thing for Shy Guy to play with. Okay. It looks like now we're going to start a new assembly for a tree here, so... Shy Guy has a little platform to dance on. Well, he's not really dancing. Here, he's hiding behind the leaf, and then if you have someone jump on the platform, you can spook him out and reveal him on the open side, which doesn't have the leaf. And now he's back to hiding behind his leaf. So that's how that works. This is a little hiding spot for a Shy Guy. Meanwhile, let's come back over here and begin building up this tree build here. At least this is one of those simple cartoon trees and not one of those hyper detailed realistic tree builds they try and do. Those are annoying to put together, but the simple cartoon blocky trees, these are easy. Alright, this one goes here. That's a cool way to do the leaves. I like this tree design. Here's our nice little tree. I like the way they did this tree. And now it looks like we're also getting a bush. We're only about, if you count the splash screen, we're only about 20 minutes into stream. So we're making good progress today. Again, speed doesn't matter. We're in here till these 2 sets are done, regardless of how long we're together for. So bag 3 is going to be our Piranha Plant. But first, yeah, this thing has trouble standing on its own. Maybe it's meant to be sideways. Here is the bush we just created. And I'll go ahead and take that and the tree and the Shy Guy platform and set them off camera so that we can keep the table clear for the active build. Let's get into bag 3. Piranha plants are kind of one of the more repetitive builds, but this may be the last one in my collection, so I don't mind doing it one more time. Because really, with a Piranha plant, you have to do the same basic assembly twice. So, however many Piranha plants you have to do the half body assembly twice. So you have to basically do the build twice as many times as you have actual Piranha plants. And it does count as a character, so this one will sit next to Shy Guy once we build him. I did that incorrectly. Not a big deal to fix, though. I do like the Piranha plants to the point where I'm even thinking about getting the big one, which I heard is supposed to retire soon. Still not fully decided on whether I'm actually getting that one because I have so many other sets that are also that I want that are also retiring. But that's one that's not that expensive. So even if I miss retirement, I'll still be able to get it on the aftermarket. Not too big a deal. So yeah, I probably will get the Piranha plant at some point, though probably next year at this point. And this Piranha plant actually has a scan tile directly on it. There's the scan tile for the Piranha plant. Usually Piranha plants are part of assemblies or challenges and don't have their own scan tile, but this one does. So it'll be interesting to see what it actually ends up doing. But let's keep going with the build for now. Goes here. I think after I get my last couple shelves and complete my displays, we might have to do kind of a, if I can figure out how to make the camera do this, we might have to do a tour of my Lego displays. Because I got some really cool stuff that I'm staring at behind my desk there. So there's the head section of the Piranha Plant. Obviously we got to put on the green leafy bits before we can call it done. Now we're just going to keep going with the Piranha Plant's platform there. Okay, these go across like this. And then the Piranha Plant just sits in the top of that little stand like this. So we have a couple of these platforms that we're making here. And these have the flexible rubber piece. So it looks like they're springy jumping platforms here. This looks exactly the same. I wonder why it didn't have us do this as a 2x section. Because these platforms, oh, because they're slightly different colors going on the bottom portion. That's why it didn't have us do this as a 2x. So bag 4 is going to be our wiggler. So here's the two little springy jump platforms that came with the Piranha Plant. I'll set these over here with our other scenery bits. And now let's just see what the scan code does here. That scan code right there on the back of the Piranha Plant. So Piranha Plant sometimes gives 1 coin and sometimes a bunch of coins, apparently. Let's go ahead and, yeah, let's do it like that. And let's get Wiggler together now. So I think the plan is to do the rest of this set, and then we'll take our midstream break before we get into the other set. That seems like a logical way to do it. Barring any emergencies, which hopefully we won't have. So, I'm thinking about doing another karaoke practice stream in the next few days as well. It's been a little while since I did a karaoke practice, so I'm overdue. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's... So these go on the back here. There's only one other set with a full Wiggler, although there's also a one of the Mario Kart sets has a car based on the Wiggler's design. But I think it's a simpler build because it's a car, not the actual Wiggler. But Wiggler itself as a character only has is in one other set besides this one. Okay, there'll be a brick with printed eyes there. And it gets a little flower on its head. So there's Wiggler's head. I'll just sit him here with his friends while we work on the rest of his body. Okay. That one goes there. And then one up here like this. So there's the first body segment. We'll put the head on, and he becomes top heavy because he doesn't have his other. Okay, so now we get to do a 2X for the rest of him. goes in here like this. All right, let's get these bits onto the other section now. Okay. Looks like we have one more segment to make after this, after these two. Oh, I put the feet on backwards on that segment. Okay, so we have one more body segment left to make. But at least he can stand on his own now without falling over. just make sure. I do have one section of feet backwards somehow. And now all the feet are facing the correct direction. And that last body segment is attached. And now, okay, so now we're building something alternative to put on his back. Let's just see what we're meant to do here. There is a scan tile. This is the Wiggler scan tile here. And it says we're supposed to take the spot off the front segment and pop that on. Like this. So now let's just see what happens with that. So it just plays Wiggler's music and lets you ride him. So we're actually going to take that little... Actually, I'm going to leave that as is. And Wiggler will come here and sit with his friends. I'll wrap him around so as not take as much space. The spot I'm going to set aside. Let's go right into bag 5. And bag 5 actually starts with a big gear. Actually, it says to put the gear on this side. There we go. Whatever this assembly is, it's coming together pretty quickly. Still not sure what it is, though. Okay. So this assembly goes on to there like this. And this gold piece here goes here to close off the axle. Okay, still not sure what it does yet, though. Now we get some clear pieces. They do enclose the that bit of Technic there, so I'm not sure what they're there for, but I guess we'll find out soon. And I just see we have a spammer. And our spammer has been banned. So let's keep going with the build. We just passed the 1 hour mark of stream. We'll be done with this first set. Well, we have 2 more bags after this one. So we still got a little while to go here. But we'll be together for a while today. Mario is one of my favorite Lego series because of the interactive bits. So I'm going to miss it when we're done. I mean, obviously I can take out my sets and play them whenever I want. There's a little wind-up mechanism that looks to be cosmetic only. And we have a turntable base, which I think is where the gear is going to go. The big gear that whole assembly is built on. Yeah, there it is. I've never had a tile fall off a piece before. I mean, while attaching a gear before. Let's try that again. There we go. And now it looks like we build a regular mystery box and we drop it inside the, well, we have 2 different mystery box things going on here, but it says to do this one. This is the one with the gear icon on it. So here's the mystery box with the gear icon on the tile. And it says to put that inside. And then we make another mystery box. And this one also has a gear icon on the tile. And it shows to set that one on the side. So if you raise this up, it brings the icon, it brings the tile up so that somebody can scan it. So let's just see real quick. So you take your figure, you stand them on top of the platform, and then you bring up the mystery box inside using the lever. Oh, if you push it all the way down, it can slide out the front like that. So let's just check out these 2 boxes real quick and see what they do. So if you put the lever down, It'll block them from going out. So we'll put Luigi up there. We'll push the block up to him. And we'll see what the other block does. That one gave him a star, but didn't activate the star. So let's see what the lighter mystery block does. Okay, so it's giving him a star, but not activating the star. So you might have to be in the timed game in order for the boxes to work. So here's one last look at the two little boxes. You can see one's a slightly lighter blue than the other. And now I'm gonna drop them in to get them out of the way. We'll take that platform out of the way so we can focus our area now on bag 6. And bag 6 does have looks like an alternate start pipe. Let's get right into it. And there is a printed tile. Showing a what looks like a timer with some coins there. And there is an alternate start tile here. That's what it looks like. With a coin icon instead of a timer icon. And then we put the big pipe piece around that. And then it just looks like that inside the pipe. And now it looks like it's time for some scenery. There's another scan tile here. If I can find it in my parts pile. There it is. And I can't tell what that icon is supposed to be. But here's another scan tile. So let's build up the scenery and then we can figure out what it's supposed to be. These go here like this. Oh, are we making a fire? We have the candle flame pieces going on around. Oh, we're making a cooking top. That's what we're doing here. So there's like this little fire with a cooking pot on top. Let's get these little flame pieces all in. So here's our campfire with cooking pot. It looks like this goes on the scenery like this. And then some places to sit. So here's our campfire scene. It makes flaming cooking noises. So when you start with this pipe, you have a target number of coins to get. When the game is actually live, those mystery boxes from the mystery platform do work, but the game has to be live for those two to work. All right, let's keep going. So this is going to give us some of the purple that makes the nice poisonous swamp toxic effects that hurt the player. I've been waiting for the swamp to actually do the swamp's penalty, so the Mario figures recognize colors as different terrains. Blue it recognizes as water, and purple it recognizes as toxic swamp, which can actually hurt Mario and his friends. Okay. So here's a little bit of swamp. And we're going to keep going with all these different builds. here's another scan tile here. I'm not sure what that icon is. We'll find out in a few moments. All right, let's go on like that. Okay, so it shows this going on the purple bit like that. And we have a printed signpost here. We have there that printed skull suggesting that the swamp is toxic and that Mario and friends should not go swimming in the swamp there. And it looks like here we're going to get a little bit of a plant build. Yeah. Here's a little bit of a flower build. Here's that signpost again. And it shows us going straight into bag 7. So let me get the spare bits out of here. But before I do, so it's a little raft you can use to get across the swamp terrain safely. Let's go right into bag 7. Oh, there's some transparent pink pieces in this parts pile. First, let's declutter a little bit. Those might be jumping platforms, or actually swamp water splashes at different heights. So this is the last bag for the set, so once we finish putting this together, we will take our break. And then we'll get right into the other set, where we'll be going to the beach. Looks like we're doing another flower build here. This goes here like this. Here's a plant build. And it looks like we're going to do a taller version of that plant build now. Here's another plant. This one's pretty tall. And now we make two of these cloud units here. So here's what the cloud looks like. And we get two of those. So let me just do that again real quick. Where did I? There it is. There's the other cloud. And it looks like we get another one of those trees. So it looks like this is the same kind of tree we had at the beginning. Just a second copy of it. Don't know why they didn't just have E2X back there, but it's cool to see that we get another one of those. So there's our tree. And here it's just telling us to make 12 different flowers in a bunch of different colors. So let's do that, I guess. And it just tells us to make the flowers loosely, so I dropped a flower piece. Hold on. There's the 8th flower, so I need to do 4 more. Last little flower, and then we can see what's next here. And this shows putting everything together in an arrangement, but doesn't really show you how you're supposed to do that arrangement. It shows you can arrange it in different ways. So it is a maker set, so mostly it's a bunch of different scenery components. Let me just take all these flowers off. And let's go ahead and I guess these bits aren't spared either, because they're the big plant bits that they don't give you spares of. And then let's take off the unbuilt platforms and stuff, which will be used for arranging sequences later. And of course all the terrain plates we'll take off. And I'll go ahead and put everything back on screen. So you have something to look at when we go into break. All right. Let's do this. And let's get everything else back on screen. Everything that we actually built is going to go back on screen. Those 2 plants might not stand though, since we didn't put the terrains up. We'll have Shy Guy's platform out because we did build it, even though we're not actually putting him in right now. The clouds won't stand because they're a single stud connection point. They're meant to be attached to the studded bases. There. Now you have stuff to look at while we go to a quick break here. So we have the bush, the 2 trees, the jumping platforms, these poison splash effects, the little campfire, the swamp raft, the mystery box dispenser, Shy Guy's hiding place, and over here we have the Piranha Plant, Pink Shy Guy, and Wiggler. And not on screen right now are the various flowers and clouds. since they just connect by a single stud, and will not stand on their own. So we will now take a very short break, and then we will come back and we'll do the other set. Including the talk time at the beginning of the stream, we've been going about an hour and a half, which is about what we're actually a little bit ahead of where I estimated, I think. So let's take a quick break and we'll get right into the beach. I'm back, so let's get ready for the beach set. I'm back, so let's get ready for. We'll start, of course, by clearing all the swamp scenery out. Characters, of course, can stay on as is per our standard. And let's go ahead and get the let's get the beach set going. So you'll see this is one of the this is a long retired set. This is one of the earlier sets they did. So this one I had to go eBay for. And as you can see, I got a damaged box special. This box is really beat up, but still sealed. Here's the front of the box. And this one has a bit of a track for the swimming feature. And it looks like it has one of those bridge with the jumping fishes. And here is the back of the box, showing some of the play features of this set. Let's get this open and get right into it. I've had this set sitting in the queue for probably a year. It's been sitting in my pile of unbuilt sets. And I can see some loose coaster track pieces. Let me just set those aside. 4 quarter circles that together will make a round circle track. Let me go ahead and set these track pieces aside, and then we'll see what we got in terms of bag count here. No stickers, because this is non-Mario Kart Mario. Mario didn't introduce stickers until the Mario Kart sets right at the end. So we have 6 numbered bags here. Of course, we leave bag one on the table. Looks like bag 1 is going to be our first character, as is the standard. Our little paper quick start guide, which, being an older Mario set, isn't actually the full instructions. But you know how we can fix that. So just make sure I turn my microphone back on. All right, we are good with the audio. Let's pull up our instructions for the beach. And I will go ahead and get rid of the one gray block. I can't do anything about the other gray block, as you know. All right, so we have our instructions on screen. So it looks like bag 1 is Yoshi, bag 2 is the bridge with the 2 fishes, bag 3 is some platforms, bag 4 is the base of the beach, bag 5 is the beach track, and then in bag 6 we get the dolphin, the urchin, and a tree. So let's go ahead and start with Yoshi here. No separator this set, but we'll just leave out the one from the other set right here. Ready to go. All right, let's start putting our Yoshi together. And since Yoshi's a good guy, he can go stand on this side of the table with Mario, Peach, and Luigi. Okay. Headless Yoshi still needs to have his head put together. Okay, we're almost done with Yoshi. Looks like he's got a little platform to stand on here. And on his platform, there's a little scan tile, which has a Yoshi egg icon on it. So here's Yoshi's scan tile with the egg icon, and there's our Yoshi. We haven't used Peach all day. Let's give her a chance. So if you jump on the Yoshi tile, Yoshi will join your team. And this camera actually does try to pick up the screen, although still not great, but much better than the other camera did. So you can see Yoshi's on the screen ready to help Peach out. And Yoshi, remember, with one-hit kill enemies. So Yoshi hits standard one-hit kill enemies. And so if you have your Yoshi active, you can kill one-jumps. Oh, that one just did the jumping animation, so maybe Yoshi can't fight piranhas. Meanwhile, let's go on with the build now. Bag 2. And since these fish are part of the interaction and will attach to the bridge, I may just keep them with the bridge because we are starting to get cluttered in the front here. Or I may keep them with the enemies till I need more space. Let's see how we feel. Although I don't think we get the last 2 characters until much later. So we might be able to put the fish out with the other enemies here. Maybe we'll put 1 fish out to represent. We'll see. We'll see what we decide to do at the end of the bag. It looks like these fish are called Cheep Cheeps. Alright. And the instructions have us starting these as a 2x build here, so 1 page at a time we'll go through these. There it is. And both of them are going to get a scan tile here. That's what Cheep Cheep's scan tile looks like. There's this. Okay. And it's using these angel wing pieces for the fish fins, which is pretty cool. So there's what a completed Cheep Cheep looks like. And let me go ahead and put the last few pieces on the other one. And we'll just have them sitting there for a little bit while we build up their bridge. Okay. And I forgot to do something during the bio break that's actually pretty important. So when we finish the bridge, before I get the next bag, I'm just going to do a quick little stretch break. But it's not going to be a full-on bio break. We're going to be off for like half a minute. And now we start building up the bridge structure. Okay. So we're putting some Technic on here, which suggests that this piece of the bridge is going to have some action once we attach it to the structure. Interesting. So this is the central part of the bridge, it looks like. Doesn't look like it directly attaches, but it lines up with the other stuff there. And yeah, it those little window pieces hold it in place. But it's not. Okay, so that part of the bridge is meant to be flexible and move, it looks like. Now putting more things in place to hold the inner bridge structure together there. Interesting. So these bits of the bridge are static and that middle portion moves, but we're not sure the range of motion yet or how this all works. There it is. I just went behind the instructions a little bit there. Sorry about that. And that's going to go bag 3. So my guess is you put the Cheep Cheeps on here, and then they're going to try and jump across and stop Mario. And as Mario moves along the platform, it causes the... Alright, so there's no scan tile on the bridge itself. But let's just put these guys on and see what happens real quick. So we have the Cheep Cheeps facing the bridge. And then Luigi comes along for a little hike. And he starts crossing the bridge, right? And if you hit the central platform hard enough, the fish jump over the water. And eventually, the fish falls off the jumping platform. And when when the Cheep Cheep falls off the jumping platform, you can grab the coin. Now, let's go ahead and take them off for now. Let me go take care of that thing real quickly, and then I'll be back to finish or to continue building the beach. But I'll be right back. That's cool. So it's the central section of the bridge here that causes the fish to jump. All right. Give me one moment. Okay, sorry about that. I should be good now. Let's keep going. So it looks like bag 3 is just a couple of platforms. So here's a couple of jumping platforms here. Let's keep going. Okay, so it looks like we're making another kind of platform here. Basically some more terrain and scenery for the guys to jump around. It looks like this one's going to have some action going on, because we're getting this rubber Technic piece going on the front here. And this one has a scan tile on it. I can't tell what the scan tile is supposed to be a picture of, but that's what it looks like. Okay, so it's feels like a springy board there, like a diving board of sorts. And now we're going to the main section of the beach, but before we do, so the rubber piece is to give the board that springy feel, and when Mario jumps on the board, it makes jumping noises, and then when you finally jump into the water below, it makes a splash. So it is in fact a diving board. Let's get bag 4 out and begin this main section of the beach now. I messed that up. I did not align that correctly. but the instructions were unclear on the alignment. So, but it's fixed now, and we are ready to continue. Oh, it uses these big rock pieces. It's been years since I've seen one of these. They used to be common, but not so much anymore. Actually, I'm trying to remember. It may have been a little bit more recently than years, but I really don't see them as much anymore. I may have done one other set on the channel, or a couple other sets on the channel that had them in different colors. Those rock pieces are legendary, though. They're a big part of LEGO history. They used to be very common, and now they're rare. Okay. All right. We're building up some structure here behind the beachfront. And these two trans blue ones go here and represent water. We have these big coral pieces also. And those big coral pieces hang by the water like that. So this is what we did on the back so far. And that's what it looks like from the front so far. And there's the section where the track is going to go around eventually. It looks like we have here some smaller corals for decor. Okay. Oh, I was supposed to leave a one stud gap between the coral and the platform there. This is a massive piece of terrain and it's on its own. Okay, those are on. Okay. This is not usually a spare bit, and they don't usually give you two of those. So let me actually retrace my steps and make sure I put all the detail bits in. Because it's 3 pieces here. That should not be spare bits. I see one of the pieces that I missed. Okay, that one's been addressed. So now I should see those I put in. Alright, so these 2 other bits that are not supposed to be spare bits, I will set those aside and see if the instructions call for them again. Meanwhile, the instructions say it's time to open bag 5. And it looks like we're doing an assembly, so before, I'll just set this right over here. And it says we're also going to need our track pieces for this here. Let's keep going. We do have a little bit of a turntable base here, the small kind. Okay. So it looks like we're creating some central framework for the track here. Okay, now these all attach to here. And with those on, we can move on to the next page. And here's where we put the track pieces on. Let's see how they're meant to line up here. And again, here's what the track piece looks like. And we just got to secure them with these tiles here. And that's what the track looks like so far, with all the track pieces on. Okay, and this is where we attach it to the big scenery that's already existent. Let me see how I'm going to do this on the table. Okay, we got that. I want the red axle to go into here. So that other pinpoint we put in goes into that joint base there, like this. And the track flops around. Okay. I guess now we just got to secure in the axle side there. Obviously, we also have to secure up within the structure here. Now we're building another assembly. That's going to be part of the structure here. You know what? I just remembered there's two other smaller sets that themselves are not enough to be a full stream. So I think I'm going to go ahead and knock those out too. And that way all I have to do is figure out when I'm going to stream the four remaining big sets for Mario. But if I knock out the two little sets, I won't have to do them with the big set streams. So, let's just take care of those two smaller sets while I'm here. I had completely forgotten about them because they were from the final wave of Lego Mario. And they weren't Mario Kart sets, so I had forgotten about them a little bit, but let's go ahead and do both of those smaller sets when we finish the beach here. We probably will take a break though. I mean, it's still early. So this goes here in the middle of the assembly, if I can get it to line up correctly. Yep, we got it on. All right. Let me just see. Yeah, all right, that's good to go. And now we have this big, long Technic piece here. And we have these transparent blue pieces. then you have these water splash effects. Like that. And these little water towers go on the back of the beach structure. I want to make sure that they're centered like that. Okay. Well, looks like we need to open bag 6. And here's some more pieces that don't usually show up as spares. Before I continue, I'm curious now, so let me do a quick lookup and then I'll bring the instructions back and we'll keep going. I need to look something up real quick. That's why I turned the instructions off. So there's 4 big sets after this one. And then we'll be done with Mario. I mean, after the stream today. There's 4 big sets left. Yeah, that's strange. Okay. It looks like there's a lot of pieces that aren't normally spare bits that this set gives you as spares for some reason. But yeah, it's showing up as I'm not the only one who has extras of all these, so okay. Also, there's a misprint in the instructions, as it never actually tells us to open bag 6, which we need to do if we're actually going to move on with the instructions at this point. So let me just take this big beach platform we just put together and set it over here real quick. And let's get bag 6 open. When we finish the beach set, we'll do another quick break, and then we will look at these last 2 small sets. Maybe we'll do one of them. We'll do one of them for sure. And depending on how I feel and what time it is, we may or may not do the other one. We may just roll that into one of the other big set strings. All right. Based on the fact that this has, we're putting rolly wheels into this dolphin assembly, this might be the vehicle that goes on the track there. The dolphin appears to use a similar eyes tile that to the Dory creature we've seen in 2 sets. There's also a scan tile. Let's make sure I get the correct piece there. Which... That's the scan tile for the dolphin there. Oh man. There we go. Okay, so here's our dolphin build. It's built on a coaster cart base. So this is what's going to go on the track is my best guess. And now we have what looks like it's going to be a palm tree build here. And here it looks like we're building a hanging mystery box. A mystery box that hangs in the tree. Actually, not a mystery box, an invincibility star specifically. This is what our star box looks like. It's going to hang in the tree. Okay. This is what the tree looks like. And it's got a non-flat base, so it must balance on something or something. We'll figure out how it all goes later. It looks like even though there's a place for it to hang on both sides, there's only one thing to hang on the tree. So I'll just set that back there until the instructions tell us how exactly that's supposed to go. And here's our final character for the set, a character called Urchin. And then it'll show us how to put the whole beach together, I guess. So Urchin has a lot of these spikes all over its body. That's why we see so many jump pieces in the jumper pieces in the parts pile. There's an example of some of the spikes, but we still have a long way to go before Urchin is fully together here. And here it's showing us the scan tile. And some more spikes. So that's what the scan tile looks like. And you can see some more of the spike pattern going on. And it looks like we have a 2x build now here. More jumps, more spikes. We just passed the 3-hour marker stream. So yeah, we definitely have time to do at least one of the 2 small sets. Okay, and it shows these going on. Like this. Wow, this is a very spiky, hard to hold build. So now there's just one side of him left unfinished. This is where we put in his surface details. There's some nice printed eyes there. And with the rest of these details in place, he actually looks pretty good. And there he is with the face attached. I'm guessing this bit of the instructions will show us how to put everything together into how this is supposed to go here. So we start with the bridge. Something fell. The tree. Was the box on it? I don't see the box anywhere. Shoot. Did we lose our star box when I dropped the tree? I'm not seeing it anywhere. There's Urchin. There's the swamp characters. There's the Cheep Cheeps and Yoshi. It's not on the table. It's not there. Now putting the Cheep Cheeps on is going to make these top heavy. But you know what? Let me take a moment and look for that mystery box, that star box, because I know it's going to come into play shortly. So let me just stand up real quick and see if it fell where I can't see it. Yeah, I see where it went. Okay. We're good. It went behind something, and by standing up I could see where it fell. So we're good. And then we bring in this piece. Let's just, you know what? We're going to take up the whole space. Let's get our swamp guys out of the way for a little bit. Now we gotta bring in the big track piece again. And Urchin is supposed to sit up here. Oh, let's just see something real quick. Mario can't even jump on him because the spikes hurt him. So that's why you need the star block. Okay. So we put Urchin there. And then the dolphin goes along the track here. So the dolphin's tile makes swimming music as you ride it. We'll just clip the dolphin to the track. And you can see how easily it rolls around the track because it's built on one of those coaster cart bases. And then we hang the tree, or we position the tree, I should say, and we hang the box from it. And the tree positions there in the middle of the track. And of course, the star box fell down again. And it shows the beach connecting along this axis. And some extra plates there. And that shows us doing these two little platforms on this side here. Like that. And then Yoshi's base over on this side. All right, let's turn off the instructions and try and play this thing. Let's use Peach because we haven't used her all day. So there's a couple ways you can come in. You can talk to Yoshi and go straight to the track, or you can come in on the bridge. And now she's going to go for a swim. And we lost our star box. So let's put that back on the tree here. And now let's bring the dolphin around. And she can ride the dolphin for a while. And the box keeps falling. I think that's the idea. As you ride the dolphin, the box will fall from the tree, and then you can jump on the star. So when you're in invincibility mode, you can then jump on the urchin and defeat it. So you have to collect the star box from the tree in order to defeat the urchin. That's cool. Meanwhile, the dolphin is going to stay on the track. And let's just separate some things here so that we can clear the stage a little bit. And the dolphin will stay on the track at this point. Yoshi can come back with the friends, though. Yoshi doesn't have to stay on his platform. The Cheep Cheeps will just leave on the bridge at this point. You know what? Let's go straight into the next small set. So let's bring our friends back. And I'll grab one of the small sets here. And I've got here Captain Toad's Camp. This is one of the last couple sets they released. It comes with Captain Toad and a Goomba, and it looks like Turnip is listed as a character as well. So let's go ahead and put this one together. So here's the front of the box. And here's the back of the box. Let's see, 3. Here's bag 1. We go up to bag 4, and there's a big loose base plate there. Here's the paper instructions. But you know what we do with those at this point, so we are ready to go. And we will keep our separator out. So bag 1 will be Captain Toad. And I think we're going to power through. We're going to do this one. And that other small set, I think I'm just going to do it when I do one of the big sets. Or when I do a Lego variety show, whichever comes first. Because I do have other things I need to work on tonight after stream. But we can do this one. We can get it done. I hadn't really planned on these 2 small sets because I'd forgotten about them, like I had said before. So this Toad, Captain Toad here, has a unique outfit compared with the other Toads. So yeah, we're going to do this one, and the other one I'm going to save for another stream. Either one of the big Mario sets, we'll do it as a bonus, or we'll include it in one of the Lego variety streams I do sometimes. Although I don't really have anything planned for a Lego variety stream right now. I just have specific themed streams planned. So I'll look at the piece counts for the 4 remaining big sets, and we'll do the other small set on whichever one of the big sets has the smallest piece count. So it takes about the same amount of time as the other big sets, I guess, is the best way to do it. Because I do want to work on other things tonight. Oh, cool. He's got a miner's helmet with a big lamp. Okay. So here's Captain Toad with his big lamp helmet. And now it looks like we give him a little bit of a backpack going on here. So there's a cooking pan and a red coffee mug for the accessories that clip onto the backpack. And he also holds a pickaxe for his active adventure, that the exploration he's doing right now. So here's Captain Toad with his accessories. And there's the backpack on him. You can see the cooking pan, the red coffee mug, and he's ready for his adventure. He has a treasure chest with a what looks like a diamond in it. I'm gonna go ahead and put the spare diamond piece in there as well. So he has a treasure chest with 2 diamonds in there. There we go. So basically, this bag looks like it's just his tent. And he has a scan tile. This is the scan tile that's going to go on Toad's camp. So he has a little bit of a fire going on. I think that's what this is meant to be here. So we have a little fire build there. So there's his tent assembly so far with the fire and the scan tile. You can see the treasure chest and his bedroll as well. So bag 3 starts with the turnip character. There's turnip scan tile. There's turnip. So we have one more of the diamonds. It looks like this one is going to have some rock work built around it to hide it. But here's the last diamond piece. This one is still out there waiting to be found. So here's the beginnings of the adventure platform. There's a ladder on one side, there's some lava in the middle, and of course the diamond is still hiding in the back there. Let's open bag 4 and finish piecing together Captain Toad's mini adventure. This is the final parts pile of this stream. Okay, we're almost done for the day here. It'll be about we're at about 3 hours, 40 minutes-ish. So by the time I finish this last parts pile, it'll be about a 4-hour stream. I don't know how much of the rest of the stuff I'm going to bring back for a raid out scene, honestly. Because we saw how much space the beach takes up. We'll bring some of the stuff back out. But yeah, 4-hour stream. We did my last 2 medium-sized Mario sets. One of my last 2 small sets. The other one I'll do with when we have 4 big sets left to go after this as well. And then we're done with Lego Mario because they're not making any more of these interactive sets. We just got to catch up with the ones that already exist. And then we're done with Mario. We are not done with Lego. We will never be done with Lego on this channel. My collection's too awesome for that. Anyway, once we finish this little adventure platform, we also have a Goomba, which and then Goomba, of course, being the most common of the Mario enemy types, and then we're done for the day. here we have what looks like it's going to be another hidden diamond that Captain Toad will need to find on his adventure. That was not supposed to happen, obviously. Basically what happened is I tried to rip this section from a weak point. Let's get that all back together real quick. Now, without holding it from the weak point, that's cool. The bridge is retractable. So the bridge over the lava can be retracted. You see the bridge going down as I pull the stick here? So there's 2 hidden diamonds for Captain Toad to find in here. And now we just got to put the Goomba together. And there's the standard Goomba scan tile there. You just jump on him once and you get 1 coin. And there's Goomba. And we'll just set him with the other enemies now. And you saw how the bridge worked, so we're not going to do much with it. Let's just see what the scan tile on Toad... Let's just see what this tile on Toad's camp does, and then we will go. I don't think we need to see... So if you jump on the turnips tile, the little animation just shows the turnip being pulled out of the ground. Let's see what Toad's camp does. Okay, so the little animation shows a toad saying hello, and then you get the coin. That's all Toad's Camp does. So let's. Oh, we don't need that. Let's turn the instructions off real quick. So Yoshi, Captain Toad, Turnip, Goomba, Urchin, Pink Shy Guy, Piranha Plant, and Wiggler. We also got a couple Cheep Cheeps that are off on a that are attached to their scene. So let's go ahead and can we get them to balance up? No, we cannot. So yeah, we can't really show the Cheep Cheeps, but we can do that kind of. Let's see, can we do it? Can we display them like this? What if we... That's the best we're going to get the Cheep Cheeps on display. And how about a little pipe? And yeah, we're not going to do too much of the scenery right now. It's just too much, and it's not really all cohesive. So yeah, we're not going to worry about putting out all the scenery. I wonder, is there a way I can actually balance this such that the Cheep Cheeps... Yeah, now you can get a little better view of the Cheep Cheeps. All right, let's do that. All right. Let me type out an exit raid. Not a lot of people on right now. Let's try... yeah, this is not my normal stream time, so the night shift musicians aren't really on yet. Let's try... let's try Joe Plays Violin. She does video game music. So, I don't think I've ever rated her before, actually. So we're going to try to rate Joe Plays Violin. I have one more small... I have one more small Mario set to do, 4 big ones. So I have 4 more Mario streams, and then we're done with this interactive system. I have 3 of the big boxes ready to go, and I have 1 more I still need to buy. We'll probably wrap up within the next month or 2 on those last 4. And then we're done with tabletop Lego Mario. But apparently Lego Mario is returning in minifigure form in next year, so we won't be done with Lego Mario, just Lego Tabletop Interactive Mario. So have a good night, and I will see you soon, and let's go enjoy some good music here, and I will see you over the weekend. I have something special planned. I have a really cool Lego build planned for this weekend. So I'll see you then. Have a good night, and I'll see you soon. Good night.